All right, we have the amazing Anish Shirthi back from Thailand.
Oh, yeah.
After a big surprise last week.
Yeah. How was that? When I walked in, what were you thinking?
Oh, it was like one of the coolest feelings.
Yeah.
Like, I don't handle surprises well.
Yeah.
And it was what cracked me up is that because we were literally talking about recording a podcast that morning. You're
yeah.
oh, dude, something came up, and I was like, no worries, man. I'll talk to you on Friday. I was like, oh, okay, I'll talk to Anish later this week.
Yeah.
And then you walk in, like the gym, like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, like that. That made my day. Like, that was so cool. Yeah. As an old man, I was like, all right, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
like,
little did you know, I was texting you just like 30 minutes
and you're
away.
like, yeah, and that is the funniest part about that. Like, that is one of the most Anish things ever. So thank you for that. Yeah, that made my day. Yeah. How's it feel back being stateside?
It feels good. I like driving my car again, finally. Not walking everywhere. Yeah. The weather's really nice. Some walks in the park, but it feels good. It feels like I've been missing, I miss all this. It's all so familiar. The vibe, the energy, the people. Because, when I went to Thailand, it was a lot of, isolation, because it's all the Muay Thai fighters are focused on fighting. When I first got there, that's what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. But, throughout the course of my time in Thailand, it went from I'm going to spend all my time doing Muay Thai to I need to get, just my life together outside of this.
So it turned into isolation. It was still isolation for self-improvement, not just, fighting.
It was, purposeful isolation. It wasn't like I couldn't, go out and talk to people. It was more like I need to just focus up on this one thing right now, which is myself. Why am I in the position I'm in? Yeah. It was like a spiritual journey.
No, taking time away from your usual routine is, it's a lot of – you grow a lot.
100%.
And I think a lot of people, in your generation that have social media, they try to put their growth online, but they're actually limiting their growth.
Yeah.
My favorite periods of life have just been logging off of social media, deleting the apps, literally packing up my shit and be like, you guys will see me in 6 months. Where are you going? Different state for a while.
Yeah.
Why? There's a different challenge there that I need to figure out.
Yeah, you know what else is really good? It's because here, everyone, even you, my family, my friends, has a perception of who I am.
Yeah.
I think that makes it difficult to change for anyone. Because then you have to react, everyone's going to react to you differently.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if you were to just, stop coming in and go in a negative way, people would react to you differently. Yeah. If you were to change in a positive way, whatever that would mean, some big drastic change in a positive way, people would be like, who is this new Trevor?
Yeah.
So detaching myself from all the people I knew and spoke to, and just doing it on my own, so that way the only person I had to do it for was myself.
Well, and at your age, it's the most crucial time to grow.
Yeah.
And you're growing in ways that aren't traditional for people in your age group. And one thing that we were talking about earlier is that you kind of got out of that mindset of being told what to do.
Yeah.
Being told how to live your life a little bit. People in your age group are just learning how to be told what to do.
Yep, 100%.
And you were like, nah, I'm good.
But the thing is, most people my age feel that way. So, for example, I had a client. I had a client hire me. We met in person.
Oh, wait, before we talk about the client stuff, I do want to ask exactly on paper, what is it that what kind of title do you have? I guess are you considered a consultant, life coach?
It's probably life coach, but I just hate that word.
Life coach is such a fucking silly word.
I don't like that word because
people have told me I'm a life coach. I've heard that from clients of mine that are millionaires, and they're like, dude, that's great life advice. I'm like, but you're the millionaire. And I'm the guy living on a mattress on the ground. But not right now. That was
we're past
20,
those days.
We're way back. I actually have a bed frame now. I'm like, oh, this is nice.
For real.
I own a house. This is cool.
But I guess it depends. What does someone consider successful? Is it the $1 million or is it the business you love? Yeah. Or can you have both?
That's also there's also, I guess, you have a lot of people that are looking for, there's varying levels of success. Mm-hmm. To some people, success is $1 million in the bank. Mm-hmm. To others, it's just waking up and being happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question I had to answer was, how do you do that? How do you be happy? When I was in Thailand, I was eating, so the first couple of weeks, my routine was trash. Yeah. 7-Eleven was home. Yeah. And it just was not great, But so I really had to research and figure out what is it that makes someone happy. And you tell me what you think about this. This is what I found it is.
Yeah.
They have a clear image in their head of who they want to be.
Yes. Yeah, being happy with who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever, but even, so when I didn't have a vision of where I was going, that's when my life was the worst. Mm-hmm. Think about it, when you don't know where you're going or have a vision for the future, what are you waking up for?
Yeah.
Then everything gets blurry in your head. And then reality just falls apart.
I've had stuff like that, and that's why I drop everything and then realign everything, and it's I once had someone tell me it's like you can only start from scratch so many times, and I'm like, can you? Like really, sometimes like dropping everything and starting from scratch is the best thing to do. There's a guy, he has a great series on YouTube, he's all over Instagram, where he talks about like his favorite hobby now, like he's a multi-billionaire, is that he loves to go to like small towns with nothing in his pocket, and he sets goals on like he's like, how can I go from walking to this town with like nothing in my pocket? How can I have $10,000 by the end of the week?
Yeah.
And it's like willing to do stuff that he's like never done before. But he talks about like it's like we talk about like sales is like that ultimate life hack. If you're able to sell something, then you can automatically make money. And like this dude is so good at like he like knows how to barter, get stuff, and it's like that trading a penny and eventually you'll have like a boat. Like that kind of thing. He's a master at that. So he'll just like detach, like no phone, nothing, just show up to a town.
Yeah.
And like, if he needs to, like, just like lives outside like for a couple nights. Within a night or two, he has shelter. Within a couple days, he's $1,000. Within a couple more days, he has $10,000. You're like, get the fuck out of here.
It's like the journey of acquiring it. So like when I went to Thailand, I had a little bit of money and I put it all in investments. And I said, I'm not taking this out. I'm gonna force myself to like go from broke to, I don't know, figure something out. You know, and that journey from where I was to where I am, that's like when I think about that, that's what brings me the fulfillment. Not where I am. It's about thinking where I was and how I got to where I am. It's the difference. Because if I was just born with money or born with, like if you were just given this gym, like you just woke up one day and you won the lottery, the gym lottery.
I couldn't, like I tell people just how I'm wired. If I were to win the lottery, I would give most of that money away.
Because it's
I'm just wired that way. I've never been in. Now, is your pursuit of happiness, like it is like, you know, self-image and like who you like, you love yourself and stuff, like, is your pursuit like more monetary? Like because you have like that, you had that video of like you sitting in that McLaren. And I'm like, okay, well, this kid, like, you're definitely on the path where you could have a McLaren like before you know it. But like,
I'm actually gonna get one next month.
Are you fucking serious?
Serious.
Oh my
serious.
God.
Serious. I'm gonna pull up one day next month with a McLaren.
No.
You'll see it. But I have it. It's a McLaren GT red with the tan interior. I've got it all like planned out in my head.
All right, if you're looking for one, I'll get you in touch with a good friend of mine, Michael Pauk. He used to own a boxing gym I worked at, and this guy is like a sales guru. Like that's also his like other gig, and he helps sell like high-end cars.
Really?
So he could probably.
Come on.
We'll go swing.
Awesome.
Let me go see. I'll go see the lot he works at isn't far from here, but he helps like run like the Rolls Royce dealerships and stuff. So if you want to McLaren, I was like, I could probably. Hey.
Well, that's what, dude. This is what happens. You want to know the crazy thing? When the image becomes clear. See, I don't know how I'm gonna get it. But because it's so clear in my mind, it's called a synchronicity. Things align so that I can get it. So I didn't know you had this buddy who was gonna help with the McLaren. But now it's happened. This is like what manifesting is. People have this word manifesting. What does that really mean? That's what it is. I have the image clear in my mind.
A lot of people think about the word manifesting and they just keep making themselves more miserable. Like they're just manifesting misery.
Exactly. It goes both ways. It's the image you have in your mind comes true. So people have this negative self-image. Courage is going crazy.
No, he smells something he hasn't smelled before and he's like, what is this?
He ain't smelled beef before?
No, he smelled beef. He's like, hey, this is not normal beef. What beef is this? Greedy little survivor. I can't believe that thing used to be a wolf. Like where did we go wrong as a society? But is that like a pursuit of yours? Is stuff like that, like a McLaren, like $1 million in the bank, a big house? Like, are those things that you really truly want?
They are. Well, what I really want.
I've never been wired that way. Like, but that's like because like my pursuit of happiness is like something way different. But so your pursuit of happiness is that like.
Well, that's part of it. That's not all of it. That's not all of it. The pursuit of happiness is becoming the vision I see in my mind. But it's the same thing for you. The vision is just different. And the vision is different because our life experiences molded us to have certain preferences 100%. Of what we want. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. And that's exactly why, like, and I always related back to, like, the one day you said, Coach, I don't know what childhood trauma was until I met you. And I was like,
I didn't
fair.
know.
I was like, damn, fair. But, like, that makes me very happy to see people like you where you have these goals and this different outlook, but there's still a very positive effect of your pursuit of what you're getting. You know, like there's a lot of people that want to get a McLaren, but they're going to step on a lot of people to get there. And you're more like, you seemed, I think, because you came up and still in a lot of like martial arts environments, you understand the importance of like the more people you bring up with you and around you.
Values, exactly.
Like the value of everything is like tenfold.
Exactly. Having principles and moral values, like. Through martial arts, when I started with John and when I'm here, it's like I see that it's better to do something together rather than alone. You have those other people you can share the wins with.
Yeah.
So
a lot of those people that are like on a greedy pursuit of like physical things tend to end up having a very miserable, lonely existence sometimes.
Yeah.
Courage, come on. Little gremlin.
Yeah, for real. But it's the image I have in my mind of myself is someone who has good values.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if it was just a McLaren, but everything else was blurry, then I would do whatever it took to get it.
Yeah.
But I don't do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
that's like the pursuit. But then your image is the gym, and you have an image of who you want to be, which is like the specific qualities of the coach you want to be.
Yeah.
Right? And so every day you wake up and you go towards that. But if you lost the image, like, and you had no idea what you were doing, you'd wake up like confused.
And a lot of that shifted like 3 years ago about like where it's like, oh, like what kind of coach can I be now? Like what kind of business owner can I still be now? And it's still like, I love it. Yeah. Even though it's not what I originally intended on, like from my childhood, like thoughts of like, because like I tell people, if there's two things I want to be is, like I even tell people it wasn't so much like a coach, it's being like owning a business, owning a gym, and like coaching happens to be like a very big part of that. And coaching is something I could do naturally. Like early on, I went, oh yeah. So it's like I tell people like this is all like that long-term like goal, like that manifesting. Like so like every time I had an on paper bad day, this was always like the end goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what you are. You're an unconscious competent.
Unconscious competence. I was like, that's 100%.
You're completely you're the type of guy to get the results, but you don't know how. But it's because you had the image in your mind. That's why.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things I tell people, like, a lot of people don't realize that they're not going towards anything.
Yeah.
They just get put in that routine of, and like you're in that age where like people suddenly go out into the world and they're just in this routine that everyone else wants them to be in.
Exactly, and that's who hires me. This is why I've had so much success, because
is there a name for your business, or is it do you have a website, or is it all just through Instagram?
Yeah, right now I had the Muay Thai Accelerator.
Right.
That's what I used to have.
Yeah.
And that's the LLC I'm using right now, but I just created a new one, Anish LLC. And I want to brand myself as Mr. Ascension.
It sounds like a fucking X-Men character.
Yeah. So I just created a YouTube channel called Mr. Ascension. The name of my program is the Ascension program.
Okay.
And then the name of the group of people that are in it are the Ascended. So I don't know why, I just you need to come up with something, right? Something unique, like you need to have a name for it, the mechanism.
Yeah.
This is what I learned in business, right? So like, for example, with clients that hire me, like Eric, so you want to create something that is unique to you. You can't sell fitness, mindset, nutrition, because everyone sells fitness, mindset, nutrition, right?
Yeah.
But now when I say it's the Ascension program, it's alignment, adjustment, ascension, like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah.
You know, I've put these names and I've coined these things so that I can call it my own. So people who've tried to do mindset before and failed, I can show them this isn't mindset, this is ascension, and this is different in X, Y, and Z way. So that's what I've created, the Ascension program.
Yeah. When I started Chance Martial Arts, people were like, oh, dude, is that because you love to take risks? And I went, I never thought of it that way. And it's like that conscious, like
unconscious, like not aware of.
Like not aware
competent.
of, competence, And I was like, they were like, and people were saying all these things that like reflected me in that Chance Muay Thai sound like that. I was like, that's because I like my dog.
You had no idea.
And then I found out, like, I actually found out, like, I was limiting myself as a coach by calling it Chance Muay Thai. And I realized, like, when I went to like hometown martial arts, everything made more sense because like you realize everything that martial arts can like incorporate. Like because martial arts is such like a bigger picture, and it's like that same thing of like all these other coaches and trainers that just preach like the same thing everyone else does instead of like seeing a bigger picture for it. Do you have like a common characteristic across like your clients?
100%.
Is it a similar like age range, placement in life? And I guess all like they're all kind of like in a similar rut. Or are there like varying degrees of success of the people you have?
There is varying degrees.
They're trying to like break through to the next level of it, kind of.
Exactly.
Right?
So what I want, but then I have an ideal client. So my ideal client is a guy in his 20s who's sick and tired of his life. He's average, so his life doesn't suck. This is the thing. I got specific on who I wanted to help. I can't say I want to help all young guys get your dream life. It's like that's too broad. If I speak like that in my Instagram, they're not gonna feel like I'm speaking directly to them. Like I'm speaking to too broad of an audience. I need to narrow down exactly who my person is, so that way when that person hears me, they're like, holy crap,
Oh,
he's
I
talking
need that.
right to me.
Yeah.
And then everyone else, I attract who I want, and I push away everyone else. You watch my stories, you think, wow, this is kind of like abrasive, right?
Yeah.
But it's for the one person that wants to see it.
I was having to explain to someone, I was explaining to my wife about that. She was like, what do you think of his content? I was like, but he is getting, and you know, like everyone will take stuff differently.
Yeah.
Like not everyone, like some people, we live in a society because so many people are stuck in a rut or stuck in normalcy that they get irritated by people like you, like a go-getter.
Yeah.
Like someone that wants to
You
get
wanna
better.
know,
Yeah.
people will get pissed off and then hire me.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm calling them out on their BS. And you know, like
That's like in my job too. I'm like, yo, your punches suck. You can't fight, and then they hire me. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell them what they don't want to hear, but they need to hear it, and that's why they pay me money.
Yeah, and it resonates with them. So, for example, girls, like you were saying, Talia, she was like, what is he posting, this, that, whatever. It's not going to resonate with her.
Yeah.
Because I'm not speaking to her.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to a different group of people.
Yeah.
You know, before when I was doing Muay Thai and I was doing other stuff, I was speaking to like just everyone, whoever was watching.
Yeah.
But now it's not like that.
Yeah.
If you're not my ideal client, you're going to think like, whoa, you know? But my ideal client thinks, damn, he's right.
Have you noticed, like, have you seen it go from someone that like views a story or an ad to first contact? What's the time frame?
Dude, it gets pretty quick.
Does it get pretty
Yes,
quick? Because like
yeah.
I've noticed with this has kept sliding.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's immediate, sometimes a couple months.
Yeah, it depends. The people that come in immediately, your content resonates the most with them.
Yeah.
Like the image, the culture.
Like it seems immediately like they're right,
exactly.
like what they're looking
yeah,
for.
and the people who take longer, it's like they're like, this is your ideal client, and these people are far
they
away.
probably get like a little pissed off at you.
Yeah.
And they see your like results, and they're like, "Well, shit, maybe he's onto something."
Yeah. They don't. But this is more specifically, they don't resonate with like as much as like who you are as a person. They still resonate, but not as much. The people that watch your content think, "Holy crap, I'm like Trevor. Like that's like my coach right there.
Yeah.
Like he's the guy I want."
Yeah.
They come in instantly. And then there's other guys who are different life. Maybe they have a little different personality. They don't resonate as much, but they still resonate. They'll take longer. And then the guys that are like, fuck this Trevor guy, they're never going to come in.
I hear that all the
right?
time, yeah.
Right? So there's like a spectrum.
Yeah.
So what you want to do, this is what I did that blew up as far as marketing and strategies and stuff. You need to figure out the exact person that you want to attract to your business.
Yeah.
And you need everything you do, like your stories, your posts, needs to be directly targeted at this person. That's what I did. I stopped, but maybe this is different for martial arts. I don't know.
And that's why it's funny because like I like to hear like it's there's that saying in Muay Thai, same but
Yeah,
different.
but different,
Like,
yeah.
but it's like if I were to. And I see this with other martial arts schools, and like people are figuring out like when we talk about the growth of my school,
Yeah.
it's like some people in some martial arts schools, they narrow the group of people who'll get in the door.
Yeah.
Where me, because it's like, you ever done like any like casting net fishing and stuff like that?
Yeah.
A big fucking net gets a lot of fish.
Exactly.
A little net probably won't get a fish. So like because I have such a broad net, and that's like with this, because martial arts I can see like everything we can do through it.
Yeah.
Every person that walks in the door, there is something for them.
Yeah.
Even a person doesn't have fucking legs.
Yeah.
They could come in here and I could get them to do something.
Yeah. Oh, well,
you know?
here's why
Yeah.
yours is so specific. And
It's-
mine's
it's
more,
like-
yours is more broad and mine's more
Yeah,
specific.
yeah. Mine
this
is-
is what I'm at. Yeah. It's because it's specific because it's only in Raleigh. That's what makes it
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah, like for
so you
Raleigh,
have
yeah.
to cast a big net in Raleigh. But mine is anyone in the world.
Because you have like the online approach, you have
Yeah.
like a global fishing
Yeah.
net to like pull from, which
Yeah,
is very
so I
cool to
have
see.
I have
Yeah.
billions of prospects. So now I need to narrow in to get my top 100 prospects, right? You have like 10,000 prospects, but so you need to cast a wider
Well,
net
here's the thing though.
to get your
From what I've noticed though, my net is a
Yeah.
2-hour
Yeah.
circle.
I mean, that's a big
and
net.
some people are like, I never thought about it like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
the fact that people regularly will drive 2 hours
Yeah.
sometimes to come here, that's a big fucking net.
That is.
Like some people only try to sell on their block. And this
Yeah.
is like more of like a drug dealing term. But I'm
Yeah.
like, and I hate saying that, but I'm like, that guy usually goes nowhere, gets caught, gets busted. Like
Yeah.
this is like one of those things where I'm like, I have such a big like my window is fucking huge.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like I know the growth is. That's why I know it's growing because of
Yeah.
what we have to offer. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a very like specific energy here.
Yeah.
You know, like some martial arts gyms you go, it's like
And
corporate.
some people like so from what I see, there are a lot of people that get attracted to that doctor office type martial arts school. Like there's a lot of people that get into that martial arts school and they're learning like a very set, structured way, but they're like that kind of person.
Yeah.
So that's like they've kind of like limited themselves in some ways, but that's why they'll go like train at a school because like some people do well with being told what to do.
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
me, like, what do you want to do? And people freak the fuck out when I tell them that. I'm like, what do you want to do? Like, how do you want to think?
Yeah.
Do you want to think differently? Even like teaching bad classes here.
Yeah.
Like, people so happy. Like, also, like, the number one thing I hear is, like, when we teach a martial arts class here, it's not 30 minutes of me just smoking you out of the water.
Yeah.
A lot of gyms do that because they won't have anything else to offer longer than maybe 10 minutes of actual martial arts instruction.
Yeah.
And then even on bad classes, I'm teaching people to think.
Yeah.
I'm teaching them to do stuff that they like to do more.
Yeah.
And that helps grow, like, that net. It becomes a very attractive net.
Yeah.
And I've learned that, like, where I'm like, I kind of learned with martial arts, like, you can do anything you want with it. But like, I feel like a lot of the clients that you're starting to get are the people that would like the doctor office type schools, I guess. Maybe.
I don't know.
Or they might not even step foot into it. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. Like the people
Like I've never liked those kind of schools.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, I don't know. What do you mean when they said they would like the doctor office? What kind of person are you talking about?
Like the someone
what are their
that
qualities?
was good at school.
Good at school.
Someone that went to college and got a job. And has
That's
just,
exactly who.
Yeah,
That's
and like
exactly
that's it.
who.
Yeah, and that's like that is like that's why I was like it's a very similar base. People like it's like they're still being told what to do, but in a more fun way now.
Yeah.
It's like how they kind of see that. And it's like the people that have that like they were the people that had a very organized backpack at school. They were very excited to get a good GPA at college, and then they graduate and they get a job they don't give a shit about.
That's
or it's a
hires
job.
Me, right?
It's a job that like pays well, but there's no fulfillment from it.
That's who hires me.
That's who hires.
That's who hires me. Yep, it's guys in their 20s.
And those are the people that come and train here.
They are looking for more. It's not like the people that I attract aren't like obese, drug addicts. Like they're not just off, the deep end.
Yeah.
They're just in the middle. And they're coasting.
Yeah.
So they're making the same amount month after month. Their job they're not making more money, but they're also not making less. They're comfortable.
Yeah.
Their physique is decent. It's not great. It's just normal.
Yeah.
Their relationship is all right. It's not amazing. It's not.
People don't realize that plateau in the middle.
It's actually the worst.
It's a slowly dropping slope, and people
100%.
don't realize it. It's not a very
100%.
fast it's like you go to the beach and suddenly, oh, that's the deep end. Fuck.
Yeah.
But like it's kind of fun to be there. It's scary.
Yeah.
But like people that are in that comfort zone don't realize that there's nothing that'll take you up.
Exactly.
Like it is the slowest drowning period ever. It is like a 50-year. It's like you're drowning in an inch of water for 50 years.
It's so crazy you say that because the client that hired me yesterday described that.
Yeah.
Working a job, not making more, not making less. And I said, so you're just kind of coasting? And he said, no, dude. The coasting is making it worse.
Yeah.
So it's actually getting significantly worse, even though my life isn't changing. What's going on in here is thinking, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So it's getting worse for him, but it's not actually physically getting worse, but because it's not changing and he knows there's more for him, it's eating him up alive here.
Yeah.
And then it's slow,
People
it's a gradual.
wonder where false success creates anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Like lack of like purpose and drive.
Exactly.
Creates anxiety and depression.
It's
like a fucking epidemic.
Yeah,
like
that's
right
exactly what's happening because everyone's going to work a job and then there's no growth in the job and so they're slowly getting withered away.
Or there is growth in the job, they just don't know how to do more. They don't have, or it's like, it's a ladder they don't give a shit about climbing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It could be the wrong job. Because there's a lot of jobs that are great.
Some people get a comfortable job.
Yeah.
But they don't like who the supervisors are above them, so they never want to be that person.
100%.
So instead, they just keep working for that person and slowly going.
That's exactly what happens. And so, this is why people hire me because they see me and they think I want I want to live that life. And this is what my business coach told me. I was posting like information. People don't care about information. Like 3 tips to lose weight or but in Muay Thai it was like I was doing 3 tips to punch harder. You can just go YouTube a video and listen to that guy. I'm not the guy you come to for tips. people want to know my insight, not my information.
Yeah.
This was what I used to do.
And that's what coaching is, insight.
It's insight. It's
yeah.
personal insight on how I got from where I was to where I am.
You take two people and you teach them the same thing, they
Yeah.
will have drastically different insight
Yeah.
over time. Like
Exactly.
it's a crazy thing to see. Yeah.
And that's what people hire me for. They like the dude yesterday was like, dude, I just want to I want to speak like you, be like you. I'm like, all right. So then you need to hire me. So it's not like the Mr. Ascension. The what is the product? I'm not even too focused on the product. I am the product.
Yeah.
In my product, what do you do? When people say, what do you do? I say, I'll take you from where you are to becoming like me. Well, then that's a tall task for me because now I have to be someone they want to be like.
Yeah.
So that's why. So my job is literally to become the best version of myself and then show other people how to do it. That's sick as hell.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, that's also like what personal trainers do.
Yeah.
They're a billboard.
Yeah.
For that, like me, I'm not a great looking billboard.
Right.
However, people always say I'm happy, and
Yeah.
holy shit.
Yep.
Some people are like, how are you always happy? And I'm like, because of all the times I've been pissed off and sad
Yeah.
and mad is why I have such a pursuit of happiness and fulfillment. And
Yep.
it's even telling people, because I grew up in a very humble household.
Yep.
It doesn't simple things can make me happy, but it's the pursuit of something I love is what makes me happy.
Yep.
And it's something I've had to tell. Getting into comedy is a really fun thing because now
Yeah,
I still
want to.
Yeah, what's that?
I want to.
You want to get into comedy?
I want to do. Let me
Bro,
reset the
yeah.
camera. Yeah.
You want to get into comedy as a way to, and so that's also something that. That's the same reason why I got into comedy is because it's a very familiar,
Yeah.
uncomfortable thing.
Yeah.
Technically, I have all of these things on paper that would make me a good comic, including
Yeah.
a fucked up childhood.
That probably helps.
But
Yeah, give
apparently,
jokes and shit.
but you meet some people that have very normal lives. They just have a very funny view
Yeah.
of the world and become very good stand-up comics about that. But so you want to try comedy as a way to get outside your comfort zone.
Yeah. I don't want to be good at comedy necessarily. That'll be probably
Yeah.
a byproduct if I do it long enough.
So do you see comedy as a form of self-improvement for you,
For
is
public
it because
speaking. No, that's what it
yeah,
is.
because that's why I did it.
That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, and so I
Yeah.
got into Brian Callen when I got to train him for a weekend, and it was so cool to there's been cool things with martial arts where it's sometimes you get to meet your fucking heroes.
Yeah.
Some people will pay $10,000 to go shake someone's hand.
Yeah.
Where I found out with this, I'm like, oh shit, I might actually, those people I've wanted to meet might actually end up coming to me.
Yeah.
And it's weird when that happens, Brian Callen, Josh Koscheck, two people I grew up watching. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, and they come whoa, cool, life does that. But Brian Callen was look, man, what you've done with martial arts, you could do the same thing with comedy. Because he was even telling me, he's dude, in a conversation, you're hysterical, you're
Yeah.
funny. And I was like, well, I've always done that. I've always been I've always found humor in dark places. Life will teach you that. I've always been talking to groups of people, since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so I had these things on paper that could make me potentially very good at comedy. I don't have the drive to be a comedian, but I do have the drive for self-improvement.
Self-improvement,
Yeah.
exactly.
And so it was funny, guys like Mike Kushner and Bobby and John Prim, they saw the difference in how I started, because taking notes. When it came to going to school, I didn't even take my backpack most of the time. That's the kind of student I was. But when it came to comedy, I was oh, I see the value in taking notes.
Yeah.
Oh, I see the value in reviewing your own thought processes and writing it out 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And so doing stand-up comedy improved my coaching because I needed to do a better job of I would talk for 10 to 12 minutes.
Uh-huh.
You lose the room
Yeah.
for teaching in this.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's got too much ADD. They got too
Yeah.
much energy. You have to get the point across in 3 to 5 minutes. And when I saw that with comedy, I went, yes, that.
Yeah.
I don't need to talk for 45 minutes. Can I? Yeah.
Yeah.
I could give a hell of a TED talk if I need to. I've done it before.
Yeah.
But I need to get the point across in my classes 3 to 5 minutes.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
And then with comedy, I was people are dude, why are you so good at crowd work? I'm I talk to people all day.
Yeah.
Now I get to make fun of them.
Yeah.
It's great. And I still bust balls here. That's very similar. But no, comedy was something that greatly improved my coaching.
Yeah.
And now it's something that I now still have growing relationships with people. I've got comics that are starting to help me with sketches. We're using the gym sometimes as a venue to help the more experienced comics practice material for recordings. My
comedy
buddy.
shows?
Yeah. So dude, yeah.
comedy
Okay,
shows?
so did you came for the last one that Chappelle Lacey was at
Dude,
the
that was so
shoebox,
funny.
right?
Yeah.
Such a blast,
Yeah,
right?
that was
Okay, so
great.
now imagine more than double the people. That the last Don't Tell comedy we had here had 75 people in here.
Holy crap. How was it? How was the...
Amazing.
It was amazing.
It was great. I got to see my buddy Justin Scranton He's just absolutely on fire right now, and
Yeah.
he's doing his first album recording tonight and tomorrow at Good Nights.
Uh-huh.
And like I saw him put up a thing, and he was like, "Hey, does anyone know where I can like practice my like 30 or 40 minutes?" And I just hit him up and just went, "Dude, let's just do a quick show like at the gym."
Yeah.
And it was funny because like we did it, like we tried to put it together like on a couple's days notice, so we didn't have a whole lot of people. It was just like me, a couple other comics, and like 2 or 3 other people that haven't really seen him go up.
Mm-hmm.
And at first he was like, "I don't know if I should even do this," and I'm like, "Shut up!"
Yeah.
Like it's practice.
Yeah.
It's a practice. And I went, "Man, like just get your notebook, like look
Yeah.
at your set." And he went, "Yeah." And then I saw him pull out his notebook, and he was like, "Oh shit, this is my set." Like he has 45 minutes of stuff, but he was like, "Damn, what order do I put it in?" And so then like we as a group got to like, he just went through his set. And he went, "Hey, hold up, let me change this." And we watched him like make another bit funnier by just switching it. Like we watched him like look at his notes and go, "1 second, let me switch this." And I was like, I fucking love that. I love seeing people like want to improve on something.
Yeah.
You know? And like so like seeing comics, like there's a lot of comics, it's just like fighting. They do the bare minimum to improve, and that is like lying to themselves.
Yeah.
Convince themselves they're better than they are. Now, like, if you are fighting, if you want to be a comedian, you have to convince yourself that you are funny. If you're a fighter, you have to convince yourself you are dangerous.
Have to. It's all in your beliefs.
You have
exactly.
to you have to make those lies into a truth.
Yeah.
But too many people like just lie.
Just lie. They don't
Just
actually.
lie.
They don't, it doesn't actually happen.
There's a lot of people that have done comedy for like 15, 20 years that you don't know who they are, and for good reason. A lot of people have fought for a long time, and you don't know who they are for a good reason. Sometimes in fighting, like, they don't quite get the break.
Yeah.
You know, comedians can be kind of like lazier. So like some people just won't leave like their pool. They're funny in that city. They go somewhere else, crickets. So they just stay to where they're comfortable.
Yeah. So,
But dude, that's cool that you want to try comedy.
So how do I do it? Do you know what Toastmasters is? Have you heard of Toastmasters?
Someone asked me if I had done Toastmasters because like I spoke at a Chamber of Commerce meeting.
Yeah.
And Talia got so mad at me because she was like, "Holy shit! Whatever you just said, like, we need to like put that on the website." And I was like, I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
I just spoke, and she went,
spoke.
"God damn it!" And like, someone asked me if I'd gone to like Toastmasters because that's what it is. It's like it's a public speaking,
it's public speaking, something like that. Yeah.
But every day is a public speaking.
Yeah, it's your job.
Public speaking is literally my day job.
Yeah, 100%. So I
But
went.
here's how you start comedy.
Yeah.
You just do it.
You just do it.
Like and when I realized that, so some people are like, "How do you fight?" I'm like, "Oh, it's actually really easy. Here's what you do. You tell a promoter, 'Hey, I want to fight,' and you show up. Now, what you did before that, it's up to you, man." Like same thing with comedy. Like you show up.
Yeah.
Like you know you're gonna do it. Like you commit. Like you tell the host, like, "Hey, I want to go up," and you better have a couple bullet points to go off of.
Is there like a school or like once a week everyone gets together like community?
So there are sometimes like that's something I want to try and do like is get people together to do a bit more writing because like that's a really fun process. Like because working on material together it's you and buddies just laughing about shit, making fun of stuff. It's a lot like the hangouts that we do here is a lot like a writing thing. I love seeing that process unfold. But there are people that do like comedy classes. Like Matt White is a big figure in the area, and he's won like a bunch of like comedy festivals all over the U.S. But he has a passion for introducing people to comedy, and he's a regular opener at Good Nights and stuff like that. So he does like a comedy workshop thing. I'll introduce you to him.
I want to do that for sure.
Yeah, but like so I got into comedy because it was after Brian Callen said that I should do it. Have you met Chris Rivoli?
No.
No, okay. So he's one of my old students, and he even told me that he wanted to do comedy. Now he does comedy. He does a very good job at it. And it was, I just lost my train of thought for a second. It's just being okay with just showing the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, you know how like when you start martial arts, like you could be good on your first day.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're going to be great.
Yeah.
So it's just like comedy. You have to be okay just showing
going through the process,
up. Going through the process.
That's what I want to do, bro. And I think it's going to push me a lot in a way that I haven't been.
And it really helps you, like, and it kind of helps you get, like, a better view on the world. Because, like, I meet a lot of comics, and they do see the world for what it is. Like, the world is as great as it is awful. Mm-hmm. But if you have a sense of humor about what's awful, it's way easier to enjoy everything that's great. You actually get to enjoy like the great stuff in a better light a little bit more. Yeah. But no, man. If you want to try comedy, guess what? You just like I would say this. Like,
what do you think?
Just try it. Okay, so you've gone to like a couple open mics, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it. Yeah. All right. So next week, let me know what your schedule is, and I'll take you to I hate it. Like my schedule doesn't allow me like that much time. Like so, guess what? Could I do some 10 o'clock mics? Yeah. But guess what's more important?
Sleep. Yeah.
Being here at 7:45 a.m. every fucking day until 9 p.m. Mm-hmm. That is the most important thing to me. So like when I started doing comedy, I would hit 15 mics in a week. Like when I started, people were like, what? And I'm like, it's like working out, but easier. Like whatever, just show up and talk for a couple minutes. But I'd say this, like we can, we were talking about like the writing process. I think is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, everyone gets together in a workshop.
Everyone got together. Okay, yeah, that's right. So when I got into it, there was a comic that I recognized in the area, and because before I started doing stand-up, I would watch. I enjoyed going to the mics at Good Nights and watching. I enjoyed going to comedy shows. I love comedy. But it was this one specific comic. I saw him getting better like over time.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It's like I just kind of picked up on like, oh shit, like this nerd is really driven.
Yeah.
And one day I just cornered him outside of a mic, and I just went like, hey man, you used to suck, but now you're funny. Like, how'd you do it? And he just went, what? And I was like, sorry, I'm just kind of abrasive when I talk to people. Like, I had someone suggest, like, I told him, like, I want to get into comedy, but, like, work on my writing. And I was like, I can tell you do a lot of writing. And he was like, yeah. And he showed me, like, we got to sit down and look at comics that I grew up listening to, and he was showing me, like, their writing methods and shit like that. And so, like, a lot of it was, like, just being okay, like, going up. Yeah. Like my first night going up, man, I didn't have anything written. I just got like just drunk and just went up.
Really?
And just talked into the mic. But luckily enough, I had like 35 friends show up.
Oh, okay.
I had so many people come to my first open mic that it disrupted like the show going on upstairs.
Yeah.
Like I heard like over some microphone, like over some walkies, they were like, who the fuck is Trevor Hayes and why do people think he's going up tonight? And I'm like, who the fuck is here? Because I just told my friends that I was doing an open mic.
Yeah.
I had a ton of people show up.
Yeah.
So like that helped, and I just went, okay, cool. It's just going up. And I remember like my first time going up, it was like the same feeling of like hearing your name called, walking out, and suddenly lights, and I got like this adrenaline dump, and I went, here we go.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like fucked off and talked into the mic. I just had a conversation with the room. And
I
had a lot of comics go like, dude, have you done this before? And I went, no, but I just talk like all day. And I just saw a way to like improve on it. But like the best way to do it, because like what could happen? Like the first time you bomb, people bomb 10 years in.
Yeah.
Like you hear guys like Joey Diaz talks about it great. Like he's like, man, I love going to towns and bombing like my first 3 nights to like work out my material, like feel out the city, and then crush it on the weekends.
I see.
So you'll see like a lot of comics like on the come up, if they go out of town, like they'll go check out like open mic rooms just to get a feel for what that city might like. Yeah. And then like it allows them like, a lot of it is so like improvised. Yeah. Like for whatever you have written down, nothing's guaranteed to go over. You can do like 2 or 3 mics in one night, and the same material will not hit. Like I've done that where it's like I've done a mic where you can feel the ground vibrating from the room laughing so hard. Yeah. And then 10 minutes later, you get another mic, and cricket, and you're just like,
damn,
fuck do I do now? But guess what? When I used to bomb, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah. That's how you get better. And that's what I wanted. I kind of want to go and bomb a little bit. Like, I kind of want to just go and fail.
It's really good. It's the best thing in life. And, you know, when you talk to, like, your clients or the people that come into here, the, like, people that are not, like, risk takers don't do what they want to do. Like, if you're okay with a little bit of failure, oh, dude, life is going to be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm chasing right now. I want I want something to push me, to make me grow I want to be a better speaker because that's my job now. I have to teach. So when I teach, I have to speak. On my stories, I have to speak. So now I want to get as good at speaking, become as good of a speaker as I can. Yeah. In comedy, I was going to do a Toastmasters, but then I went to the wrong place and whatever. But then I also figured out like comedy's probably harder. Yeah. Comedy's probably like more nerve-wracking. It's probably more going to push me out of my comfort zone.
But and a little bit of sense of humor goes a long way with getting a room to listen to you.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, you don't want it to be like, you know, it's like going to a church service.
Yeah.
a little bit of humor at church service goes a long way. If it's just fire and brimstone, you're like, oh, I get it, I'm a piece of shit. Like, whatever, you know? A little bit of humor can keep the room going. Like, even when you see people doing, like, the TED Talks, you will have, like, world-renowned physicists going up. And at least, like, 2 or 3 times over, like, maybe they're talking for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. A couple times through there, you'll hear, like, a couple laughs. Yeah. But a whole lot of ohs. Yeah. Like, because everyone likes to laugh. Yeah. If you don't like to laugh, then you're a robot. Right. You know? But humor is hard. Like, even me, like, I've had comics, like, I will just say shit, like, off the rip in a conversation, and they're like, why can't you say that on stage? And I'm like, same reason why I could knock someone out in the gym, but not in a fight.
Well, your beliefs.
No, it's not beliefs. It's just like that's what comedy is. Like, no, so there's not just beliefs. There's just like the room in the moment. You know, like there's a lot of people that believe like they can knock anybody out. Yeah. But they've got a bunch of decision wins. You know, like you'll hear people call themselves like, oh, like I'm the knockout king, and I'm like, how come you got like 18 decision wins? You're not a knockout king, like you know. So it's the same thing of like humor. Like there's a lot of funny people that aren't funny to complete strangers. Yeah. Like, does that make sense? It's like that's where humor can be very hard. There's a lot of people that are funny in conversation. Yeah. That, when it's time to perform. But when it's time to perform, like it just misses like the cadence, the energy, like sometimes the belief. You'll see a lot of people, like then there's the people that lie to themselves. Yeah. They believe in the material, but the material is overall dog shit. Yeah. Like nothing about it would be funny. Yeah. Like Hunter and I talk about like this one guy used to go up and put a banana in the microphone. Yeah. And to him, he found it like he would be laughing at himself so hard. But everyone in the room is like, can you just get off the fucking stage? Yeah. Or you have people like, there was a dude that bombed super bad a couple months ago. I mean, literally by the end of the set, he's like, fuck all you guys, you're all pieces of shit. And we were all just like, I just went, nah, you're not funny.
Holy crap.
And like, but like, he had like one buddy there to like record. Like it was his first time going up. He had someone like recording because he convinced himself he's funny. Yeah. Maybe he's funny in conversation to like his small group of friends. Yeah. Being funny to a room of comics and like random people is hard. So hard. Yeah. Like and like but like that's the challenge I like of like that's the challenge I like of stand-up comedy. Oh yeah. And it's also 100%. being okay with like changing your thoughts and views like on the fly. Yeah. Like some of my like one thing I got really mad at myself, and it happened like I had like another good like block of comedy sets earlier this year. I just went up stone cold sober. And I went, holy shit, that was good. Yeah. Because like I'm a silly goose. I enjoy like a cider or two at the end of the day. Yeah. But your boy's got so much brain damage. Like 2 ciders, I can't remember my notes. Yeah. I slur my words and shit. But like I did a couple sets, and like my buddies that are like way more experienced than I am at comedy were like, what was different about that? Yeah. Because I didn't have my notes in front of me. I just went up and I started off with like crowd work off the bat and literally talking to the room. Let me see where they're going, and then boom, I'm off to this bubble point. Yeah. And I was like, oh, like I feel like I'd actually done it for 6 years. Yeah. And they went, what changed? And I went, sobriety. Yeah. Like being stone cold sober. And they went, interesting. Because some people, they like to have like that, like, but everyone's wired different. Like some people like to have that drink or two. Some people like to smoke some weed. Some people like to eat way too many shrooms and go up, and that just turns into a mess. Yeah. But like with me, I found out I was like, oh, like let me actually try. Yeah. And then I realized I was like, damn, like even though I was doing comedy, it doesn't mean I was actually trying to get better. And I was like, oh, like my crutch was my couple drinks before I go up. And I was like, shit, that's what's holding me back. God damn it. Like,
And then you changed it. So do you still drink before you go up, or now you go up sober?
No, now I go up sober.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I mean it's like that, but it's like the same thing. Like I approach this. Yeah. Like for me when I was younger, like the gym was like the most sober point of my day. Yeah. Yeah. And that was me being a young disaster. Yeah. And but it's like I loved coaching because I was like, you can't do this fucked up. Yeah. Like I don't drink at all during the day. Like a little microdose, a little weed in the morning. And I'm like, all right, cool. But that's just me. Like I like that little like it helps me channel my thoughts a bit. But I'm not like so toasted I can't make a sentence. Yeah. But yeah, like doing comedy sober became like that extra challenge I needed. And I was like, oh shit. Now I'm like, how do I get my schedule back to doing some comedy? Yeah. Like, because like I do, it's like I enjoy it, but like I have so much going on with this. Yeah. It's like I have a hard time putting that bit of mental energy into it. Like I don't even find myself like putting down notes over the past like month and a half.
Yeah.
I just don't have like the mental energy come like
Yeah.
Friday night after a 60, 70 hour work week. I'm just like, fuck, I'm tired.
Yeah, that's kind of like how I've been with Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Because my business is like so many hours during the day, like
Yeah.
morning and night. Before what
Yeah, this is the
happened
first time I've ever met you that you haven't done 2-a-days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't done any days.
Yeah.
Really. I've just been going to the
Really?
gym.
Yeah.
Now I've still been
Yeah.
lifting, but just not any Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And dude, I haven't trained. I've tried to train Muay Thai one time probably in the last 4 weeks.
Really?
And it was the one time
That you came in?
Yeah.
No shit. Wow.
Yeah, dude. Because like as soon as I decided I was gonna go all in on the business, in the back of my mind I was like, all right, I'll still train Muay Thai when I can.
Yeah.
But then I never could, and I would let that eat at me like, oh, I should go train.
Yeah.
And then it came to a point where I said, all right, either I should go train or I shouldn't. So I kind of just let it go. Like, all right, I'll train when I can, and if I don't, then that's okay. But it's moving into like a new identity.
Yeah.
Like this is okay. I'm spending so much of my time with my business. I'm helping people, and I'm making money, and I'm changing my own life. So I have to. If I don't have time for this, then I can accept that as being okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to feel mad at myself or upset at myself that I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Because I know, okay, I can do it. In the future, I can do it. I can find the time to do it. But you don't have to beat yourself.
You can create the time and the schedule to do it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of like just being like, I should do it. I should. But what does like should mean? Who says what you should and shouldn't do? Only you do.
Only you do.
Yeah, and you put that pressure on yourself. I should do this. I should do that. Well, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't, then don't say you should have. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
It's just a decision. But people don't decide. They're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Oh, should I do it? Should I not? And then that causes like this inner like
turmoil.
Turmoil, lack of confidence.
I've seen like that little bit of like that creates like the hugest down spirals for people. Yeah.
That's what happened. So that was what was happening with me in Thailand for a little bit. But then I was kind of like, all right, I'm gonna go all in on the business and just see what happens.
Yeah.
And I told you earlier, that's what happened.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, money you're making now is definitely not what you'd be making in Muay Thai.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, you've already made more money in what you've done than you ever would have, like off of like a professional like Muay Thai or like fight career. But like, you can ultimately also still set yourself up to do whatever the fuck you want. So if you still want to be a pro Muay Thai fighter, you can still dictate your own schedule.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely can, 100%. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. We're just taking it one day at a time. And right now, if I showed you my schedule for the last week, it's like just meeting. But I love it. It's like clients.
That's good,
it's like It's like you. It's like you come in here, you teach a class one-on-one, teach a class one-on-one, teach a class, bad class, boom, and then go to sleep. And it's like, dude, where did the day go?
But it's like the best use of the day.
Ever,
it's the best use of the day. Like it's cool when people will like call the gym or email or even text the gym phone and be like, is the head coach really here for all the classes?
Yeah.
And it's like, unless there's an emergency, then like I'm here pretty much all the time. Like, I'm guilty. Sometimes I go home and take a nap.
Yeah.
People that think naps are bullshit can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad you're wired that way.
Yeah.
Like, your boy.
I might go take a nap too.
Dude,
like,
I can see it right
there.
now. I was like, my man's looking like he needs a nap.
Dude, I went to sleep like at 2 and I woke up at 4. So like that's not ideal. That's not ideal.
Bye, Riley.
Yeah. So, but it's like it's almost like I kind of enjoy that.
Yeah, but I've built my life around this kind of schedule.
Exactly.
Like when people say like, "Holy shit, you're the only gym around here with morning classes," and I'm like, yeah, because I've always enjoyed morning classes.
Yeah.
Like if I really feel like if I didn't have like the same health complications that started up like 3 years ago, I would still be doing 6 a.m. classes.
Yeah.
Like I've always been wired like no sleep, work all day.
Yeah.
Always been that way. But now I know like, a little bit more rest goes a long way throughout the day. Like I will naturally wake up at like 5:30 or 6 a.m. I can just now finally I can like close my eyes and go back to sleep for another like hour and a half.
Yeah, get that.
And it's funny like how much that does for me. Like for like the 9 a.m. and noon classes.
Yeah,
like that extra little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
I can now fall asleep sometimes before midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I was like, I'm jealous of the people. And I hate it because like I still feel jealous of the people. I can like still wake up early and go all day, and I'm like, oh, I miss that. But like,
it's probably more of someone like my age can do that.
Oh,
right?
and Talia's like, don't forget, you are almost 40, and I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
Like shit changes quick.
Yeah. So,
but it's like you can build the life that you want.
Yeah.
You're just taught to not do that. And I think it goes back to like that. What people do their whole lives, get told what to do.
Yep.
So a lot of people are told to do the bare minimum, and they don't realize it. Like with me, it's like people are also taught to think the bare minimum.
Yeah.
no thought.
Yeah.
Just listen and do.
Yep.
But no thinking for yourself. And I love to see that like wake up in people.
Yeah.
Because then you see people go like, oh shit, why am I not getting better at this other stuff? And like that's where I talk about, I love seeing martial arts become like, you know, I've got people that have been with me for 15 years.
Yeah.
I've got some people that are with me for like 5 months. But it became like that shift.
Yeah.
And I'll still know them forever.
Yeah.
I just get to see them go be very good at stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right now. That's what I'm doing right now.
Like that shift.
Yeah.
Yeah,
shift
that's
in
like
the business world. Yeah.
You know, and it's even like me. Like I never pressure people to become world champions.
Yeah.
Like if someone wants to be a world champion, like there's that thing where that person has to hold themselves accountable.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
they have to want it. Like I'd have to
want
to be a world champion more than I want anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the sacrifices are tough for stuff. But I also tell people, I'm like, and then you see some people like it becomes like that crippling thing of they're like, oh God, can I not do that thing? And I'm like, it might not be in the books. Doesn't mean you still can't do something awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So what do you think has, I think we talked about this over like lunch a little bit last week. It's like what has set you apart from, or how can I ask this question? What sets you apart from other people? Because there's a lot of guys like you online. What is setting you apart?
It's my energy. It's my belief.
Yeah.
Because I was doing the Muay Thai stuff before I left, and I was online coaching before I left, and then I was also like live coaching for a little bit, like June, July, August.
Yeah.
I wasn't living it, and I had this doubt in the back of my head. And the thing is, it's like you get programmed with these beliefs, and they're in your mind for so long. Like I'm worth this much money.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's hard to change that. But the reason I've had this massive shift in physical results is because I first had to make the shift up here, but guys don't make the shift up here. So what happens is they're stuck in a box, and they'll kind of like push on the edge and kind of expand the box a little bit. What I did is I just stepped all the way out of the box and went over here.
Yeah.
And then everything had to kind of like slingshot that way, and that's what happened with my results.
People are stuck in 2D instead of 3D.
Exactly. Yeah. It's 3D. It's like what you see doesn't have to be true. You can make an image in your mind. You can believe it with like your whole heart. And your intuition's going to guide you to get there.
Yeah.
So how did I know to, like for example, I texted Eric randomly.
Yeah.
It was just, may I text Eric? Out of nowhere. Went to go grab lunch. Now I'm helping him.
Yeah, you told me that, yeah.
Yeah, what an amazing thing to be able to just have it. But if I never was thinking, like what was on my card, if I was never thinking that, I wouldn't be going out of my way to do things to try to get that. And that in turn is going to have more impact on other people.
Yeah.
Thinking small, this is a quote that one of my mentors told me.
Yeah.
Who suffers when you play small?
Oh, I like that.
Who are all the people that need your help but aren't going to get it because you're not going out of your way to help them?
Yeah.
So what separates me is all the mindset shifts I've made over the last 3 months. And that has reflected in what's actually happened, in the results on the Instagram and the people DMing me and the relationships I've built. That's not, it's a reflection of me. That doesn't dictate me. I dictate what happens around me. Yeah. And when I realized that and I changed what was going on in my mind, then, okay, now all these people started coming into my world. But they didn't come into my world for no reason. It's because I changed who I was.
Yeah.
I was the person worthy of that.
Yeah.
If what happened on this card happened to me 3 months ago, I would be shocked, blown away, and I'd probably lose it all.
Yeah.
But because I was able to identify as that person first, now I'm ready to receive.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Until you're ready to receive, you'll never get it.
Yeah.
Because people always ask for something, and creation is finished. Like matter can't be created or destroyed. This is like more scientific, but everything that ever has existed or will exist exists now. Like this building had already existed before you were in here.
And I already had a life inside this building beforehand.
Yeah.
Which is wild to me. Yeah.
Yeah, like these bags, like they existed somewhere, but you just, because of your energy, you shifted it all to create this.
Yeah.
So I'm not creating anything, I'm just moving the energy around me. Because I know, I'm the transmitter.
Yeah.
People, they always ask, and then the universe always gives. It's all here. Creation's finished, but they're never ready to receive.
Yeah.
Because they don't see themselves as the person who could do what they're asking for. So someone could say, I want to make X amount, but if they actually made that amount today, their life, it wouldn't be normal to them.
Yeah.
Because to be that person, it has to be normal to achieve those things. So it has to be normal for me to achieve my goals, for me to achieve it. It has to be me.
Yeah.
It can't be outside of me, because then I'm like chasing, and it's always outside of me. You had to become the coach, and now you have the gym.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's that thing where like I learned where it's like cool to see how much success you've had, but then it's like when you look at like the difference of like that global like outreach, where like here, like if there's one thing I've realized, like it's going to take a lot of experience to have like what I want in this area. And that means having to do something a little bit different.
You have to, yep.
But and it's like, but it's also making it as genuine and like true to yourself as possible. And that's why like I tell people there's something that I feel like I would be lying to myself if I taught like my old coaches.
Yeah.
You know, am I teaching like similar like philosophies and ideas? Yeah, but it's like how I'm saying it and how I'm like projecting my life experiences and like my mistakes and my improvements and other people's like data behind it. I'm like, that's what makes it work.
Yeah.
And it just takes time in. And I used to get not upset, but I would just be like, damn, how did that person figure it out before me? But then suddenly, like we opened this and then I was like, oh shit, I'm actually way ahead of a lot of other people. I just kept getting mad at myself, feeling like I wasn't doing enough. Yeah. Even though I've heard people saying like, you're doing too much. And I was like, shit, am I doing too much of the wrong thing? But then I found
That's what I was doing.
Yeah. But then I found out like, you know, and my too much of the wrong thing was, and Talia helped me really unfuck myself. Yeah. And it was the, just like betting on yourself. Yeah. Like I was like, damn, she's right. I never really bet on